Welcome to another episode About That TV, and we're joined right now with former Big Brother housemate Adam Kelly.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah. Can I just say that you are a very big brother?
I'm huge, man. I'm
one
huge.
of the biggest brothers I've seen. I mean, seeing you on the TV and stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing you now in person, I didn't realize that you was that big. I mean,
Look at that shoulder, man. I'm with like an ox. You know what I'm saying?
You look like an NFL athlete.
I should have been. Could have been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was there, almost there.
Well, so you used to play sports?
Well, yeah, I did it. You know, you play street ball, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just with the homies and all that. But just when I was young, like probably like 12, 11 and all that, before like really getting into my mess, I went out for the under youths, like before you get in like the junior high school, so the under kids or whatever, just before.
Okay.
So like you could practice up and then go once you hit junior high school, you know what you're doing and all that. And they told me, motherfucker, I was too big, yo.
Yeah.
I was too big to be cracking out on these kids to play American football.
Well, you look too big. Unfair advantage.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's what it's at the age of 7, I was up to my, sister's shoulders and that. So
Wow.
I was already bossing it then,
So I noticed you said, before you got into UMass, I mean, a lot of people know your story, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't. I mean, I've had the opportunity to hear some of it, and it's been really inspiring. But I want to get into a bit of your journey, your story, where you started out. Because you take the line from Burton to Big Brother, but you don't sound like you're from Burton.
Yeah.
You seem like somebody that's lived quite a colorful life. So
I have. I've been fortunate to live that colorful life, and I've had some ups and downs with it, had some hard times or whatnot, but it's made me the person who I am today. So it's one of those things. But I started out was born in Burton on Trent, you know what I'm saying, and then I stayed in Litchfield for a while. But I first didn't get active in smoking weed, but I started smoking weed here anyway. You know what I'm saying? I had my first spliff at 9 and that.
Wow.
And from then it was a go.
Yeah. Well, you say you started out here quite, you moved out to America. Where did you move to?
Modesto, man. I don't know if you ever heard of it. You never heard of it. Exactly. Some hit town in California. It is California. You got some hit towns still, like nothing but dirt and crops and white folk.
What did you do to pass your time?
I was still young though, so I was like 6 and 7, So when I went to my first school or whatever, that's where I found out what racism was, and I got to stand at the back of the line, eat last, and get called a nigger and all those things, But it's like over here, I'm English, Irish, and Jamaican, so I got the white side of my family and the black side. I don't see no different, But I got this thing.
You was treated differently.
Yeah, little black kid with an English accent. I'm just different, Like I said, by the time I'm 7 up to the shoulder, so I just stand out, and then I open my mouth and I stand out even more.
So ultimately, being treated a certain kind of way, that must have definitely had some impact on you growing up.
Oh yeah.
Just in terms of, did you have much friends?
Nah. What happened was I would go to school, whatever, and then I got kicked out of that school, and then I was home for a little bit until I came back to England, and what it was is that my mom was really close with an Irish lady in the States or whatnot, and so I spent time with them, and I grew up with them a lot because my mom worked nights.
Okay.
So, I call my cousin just because we grew up at that age and we've been a close part of the family for days. And so me and him used to terrorize the mom. The building we used to live in.
When you say terrorize, can you give me
Well, let's see, right? So we'd be at the house or whatever, and his mom would be at work, so it'd just be me and him. I'm just telling him, we just go in the cupboards and just start throwing shit for no reason. Or just go, and we lived in a big old, I guess you call them high rises here or whatever. So flats and all that.
Yeah,
so, we just go around and just knock on people's doors and throw shit on their doors and all that. Just terrorize the neighborhood kind of deal,
Well, I mean, especially it must have been hard. I mean, growing up somewhere totally different, being treated a certain type of way, Was there much things that you could find yourself actively getting involved with? Did you have anything you found you was passionate about, anything that you particularly wanted to do?
You know what, at that age, no, I didn't know. And then once I started smoking weed daily and regularly, I just lost that ambition for anything else, Okay. So I didn't find anything I was passionate about or believed in fully until I stopped smoking dope and shit,
Yeah.
And even then at 19, it still took a while to see what I was passionate about, to find out what I really liked. So.
Yeah. Okay, because I know that you spoke quite candidly about, you know, abuse issues with drugs and alcohol, and you know, you haven't got somebody to hide that fact, and you know, ultimately a lot of the stuff you've been through has made you the man that you are today.
Right.
And you know, if we could get some kind of insight into how you kind of got started, and you know,
how I got started with the transformation. Or I guess,
yeah, with you.
Well, there's a transformation in that. It's like, man, you know, I've had a lot of near-death experiences where it's like I shouldn't be here today, and especially the lifestyle that I was living at some points, you know. There's folks that don't make it past 16, especially at 18, you know. And so once I came out of jail again one last time, it was just like something clicked that I had to change. That I wanted to live my life. There was something out there, you know. And so I got hooked up with, you know, with somebody, I like to call him my mentor or whatnot, and it was just a positive person in my life that, you know, wanted to help me change my life for free, you know, and once that male came into my life, and that's what I think I needed, you know, you need a male influence in your life to show you some positive meanings and stuff, you know, it's just like somebody you can connect with and just knows what's up, and he had the same kind of lifestyle as me, and you know, he mentored me and helped me to change my perspective on things, you know.
That's really strong. You know, because I know we do look for mentors or for people that we can aspire to be like, you know, that can help build the person that we are within. And I know through your journey, you know, at one point you was in Los Angeles, and, you know, you was hooked up with the Crips, you know, the infamous gang. So, you know, a lot of people look at gangs, but, you know, people join gangs because they're looking for
that, you know, that unity, that family bond, you know, that bond that you just don't get nowhere else. And you know, the crazy thing about the streets is that you can bond with the streets, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you can bond with the people that are on those streets with you because you're at the same level, you know? And so I wanted to that mindset has just changed. It's like, this is where I'm going to be and this is what I'm going to do, and that's just it.
I mean, I am wearing red now.
No, if it was back in the day, we wouldn't be talking, yo. I would have shook your hand, you would have been there, would have hit you up, and like, what's up, cuz?
But yeah, I mean, just to kind of get back on story in terms of your journey, you know, you was out in America. At what point did you come back out here before, and how did you get involved with the Big Brother house?
Well, like, I used to come back here all the time, you know, just because all my family's here and that. And then, you know, once I started getting like fully into my drug and alcohol abuse, and I just caused trouble wherever I go, man. I was a terror, you know. Wherever I go, I bring myself with me. And so my mother and my family's like, look, I'm gonna stop paying for airplane tickets. All you can do is go to jail and get burgers. So that was at 15, and I haven't been back 11. It's been 11 years until I came back here. And then once I started getting my life together, 8 years off the streets and drugs and alcohol, we got to come back for a little visit, and we got to see my sister and that, and my nieces, and they're all grown, you know what I'm saying? They're all grown in that. And it was just like I just missed out on so much of my family and so much of my country because of whatever I was doing, all my selfishness and that. And so I just decided to come back. I always wanted to like have a home here, you know, for my country, and my family's here, so I want to get a house or something, you know, and to give back. And this is to be in my country, and so I came back last August, and 2 of my boys came with me, and we traveled around England and saw London, did the whole tour, went to Ireland and did all that, you know. And then I got a job working at Toys R Us.
That must have been interesting.
Yeah, I was security there, you know, at the front door, like, what's up, what's in your bag, you know? And I caught a couple of criminals, not criminals, but, you know, a couple of shoplifters, and, you know, made some extra dough off of that. But and then came Big Brother. It was like I was watching it with my 2 sisters, you know. I'd be at my sister's house, and she'd be watching it, and then I go to my next sister's house, and she'd be watching it, and I'm like, I don't understand the big deal about this. And I was like, this is what I gathered from it. They sit in the house, they talk shit, and they do tasks. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, me and my homies do that shit for fun anyway. I'm just gonna go audition. And they're all supposed to come with me, you know. They're all supposed to jump on the train or drive there with me. And no one ever did, so I jumped on the train myself. Went down there, auditioned. Called my sister, because it's like there was a whole bunch of stages or whatnot, you know. And so I called my sister and I was like, yo, you didn't tell me you could win money at this. And I already made it through the second round of the audition.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's it's definitely stiff competition getting through the stages and stuff because, you know, a lot of people do try it. An audition is really big out here. It's crazy.
It's huge out here, yo.
You didn't actually know anything about it
Nothing.
until you became a part of it. So, you know, was that your first introduction to like the entertainment business, the whole entertainment world, reality TV?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I mean, you know, you watch some of those other shows like Jersey Shore and Geordie Shore. I love Geordie Shore. I hear it's just like way better than Jersey, right? But yeah, I mean, besides watching that stuff, yeah, that was about it, really. But I'm still not really into that whole deal anyway. My nieces and mine, yeah.
So how's your experience been with the whole entertainment world, and even in the Big Brother house, the whole getting used to reality TV?
People act funny on reality TV. You know?
They're like, real.
You put a camera in somebody's face and they just want to switch to a different person at times, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, for the experience of being on the TV show, I get to really grasp that afterwards. You know, like people noticing me in the streets, me being able to do this, and then open up the doorways. But while I'm on there, you didn't really pay me no mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so. It was just 68 cameras around, but I'm still just living my life. That's just the way it is.
So speaking of reality TV, you know, I know that must have been a whole new experience for you. And you know, when we think about you and your experience in the Big Brother house, you know, everybody speaks about Adam and Luke, this bromance. What's it all about? Like, I don't actually know what a bromance is. It's one of these words I've just heard, bromance. What consists of a bromance? What was so special about this relationship? Well, to capture so much people.
Right. Well, let's just break it down to like the bromance in general, and then we'll get to the relationship with me and Luke. The bromance is like your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? You ride or die boy. Go do everything together.
Okay.
Share the same thing, you know.
So like, man, them.
Like, yeah, it's just like, man, you're my boy. You know what I'm saying? I'll ride or die for you in that. You know?
Yeah.
And then I guess like society just likes to turn that into like the little romance because it makes you cute. Yeah, you know. You get it? So that's cool with that. And I mean, the thing in the house is just like, I mean, Luke's Luke. You know what I'm saying? There's like two opposite folks, and we got a connection and formed a friendship out of like, I could honestly say, majority of the people in that house at that time. You know, and for him to be a genuine guy and I commend him on what he's been through and the choices that he's made. You know, it's got to be a tough lifestyle, you know, and a tough choice to do, but he's made it. And commend him on that. I commend anybody that's going to change their life for the better, especially for themselves or for anybody, you know. And so with that, the friendships came, and you know, it was a cool folk. It was a good kid. I keep calling him a kid, but he's older than me. I'm just huge, you know, and he's like this big, so.
We're all kids. Apart from Tiny, I ain't not introduced you to it, but
all right.
quite big.
All henched up in there.
But I was gonna say you've reached a strong fan base. You know, you and Luke, especially, you know, developing this bromance in the house. You've got a huge target audience. A lot of people do want to see more of it because the relationship that you had on screen, and it was so natural, it was so real. People could relate to it. You know, they do want to see more. Do you have any plans, any developments of, you know, because I know you do a lot of community work and you give back to the community, whether it's through talks, seminars, and, you know, you use your experience and the platform that you've got now to give back to others. And even in the entertainment world, you know, there are a lot of people that still are going to benefit from seeing you guys and want to see more of you guys. So do we have any future plans of getting
working on it, you know, working on it. I mean, like, I definitely want to stay in the community work as we were talking about, but have a little, you know, a little backup, a little side project where me and Luke can do this bromance reality TV game show. Okay. So the idea is there, you know what I'm saying? The idea is there, and I spit like a couple of things to a couple of little people, and they're like, that sounds good. You know? Yeah. But I ain't gonna give you this right now. I can't do it.
No exclusive.
Can't do it. But you know, we're gonna start doing some filming and stuff like that, and you're gonna see it up on YouTube. I mean, just, you know, build it up, and then get the outline out, so we can push it. You know, hopefully we probably get you on the show if we get one. Yeah. You know, I'll give you a little secret. I'm sure you got a best friend, right? Yeah. There you go.
Right. Okay. You know, I know we've just really scratched the surface with some of your story and some of your journey, and I know there's going to be different avenues that you are rolling it out in terms of the community projects and stuff that
Right.
you're doing, where people can actually come in and hear more in depth
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
you know, your journey. Because, you know, I've heard it and it's really touching, and it sounds like something that could definitely be a movie or a book.
Right,
you know,
right.
there's so much in it that other people can benefit from as well, just in terms of living off experience. You know?
I keep hearing that, you know, book or a movie.
Well, you know, let's talk movies at the minute.
Yeah.
What type of movies does Adam like to watch?
I mean, realistically, like, I fully love horror movies, you know what I'm saying? I do, because it's like, most movies today, action, romantic comedy, and then romance, you know?
Yeah.
In all of those movies, there's always a love story, you know what I'm saying? And that just gets old and it's boring.
Yeah.
So take a good slash movie, rips somebody's head off, and it's straight.
So what would you say is your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie? Hills Have Eyes, man. That because it was a new.
The original or the?
The new one.
Okay.
Not the new one. Like I can do black and white, but I just can't do that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Hills Have Eyes, as much as it was, you'd want to say almost commercial horror,
Yeah.
it just touched on things that are just like, oh, that's not cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was new, so that just came. So I like that.
Hills Have Eyes. What about an old classic? Like, what would you say on your classic horror?
Frankenstein, the original Frankenstein.
Definitely don't know.
Yeah.
He's going to school.
And then, I mean, action, you know, like Waist Deep and Baby Boy, you know? I mean, that's like, right, most of those places where they film those movies right down the street of Inglewood and Compton and all that. So.
I mean, if you could get anybody to play you in a movie, who would you get?
It's tough. It's tough. When I had short hair one time, I had this hat on, I had this jacket, and it said 50 on it. And somebody said you look like 50 Cent. It's like, you charming the pants off of me right now. But I don't know, 50 can't really act, but you know, who would I have? If I wish I could look like Tyrese, I'd probably have Tyrese play.
Okay, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, he's played the roles that I like. So yeah, I guess that would be, yeah, it would be Tyrese.
Okay. So, you know, we've touched on movies,
Mhm.
you know, Tyrese, actor, but also an artist.
Yeah.
You know, I think we should go into a bit of music and, you know,
Yeah.
what kind of
Killing it.
music do you, what's in your playlist, what you jam to?
Hip hop and R&B, man, straight. Hip hop and R&B.
No dance, country, no.
Definitely no country. It's probably like I can probably listen to everything, you know, everything besides country. And in the States, I don't have Bashment, you know,
Yeah.
so I was over here when the garage scene was on, you know.
Okay.
And so I was really into the garage scene. I told my sister was in the States, I was like, look, this type of music is gonna end at some point.
Yeah.
You know, stack up on the CDs and all that. But it never happened. So I just totally missed out on the garage scene. And now my sister's getting me into Bashment and all that. you
Yeah.
know, so.
I mean, even the Bashment is building a lot in America as well now, especially like in New York and places like that, because you've got
Right.
a lot of Jamaicans out
Yeah,
there.
right.
So,
But it's when you come to the West, man, that's a long stretch, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And I get it why folks in England and all that really relate with folks in New York because it's that close.
because it's
It's close and it's the same weather and it's cold and
yeah,
extreme.
and you adjust quite easily.
You know, but when you come to the West, man, it's a different thing. It's just like you come to the West, it's a different thing than you come to the West Midlands to Devon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what my West is all about. I'm from the West Coast, come to the West Midlands.
West,
You gotta
West.
you know, you gotta represent, and that's where it is.
Yeah, I hear that. So yeah, we was talking artists. What some of your favorite artists?
Some of my favorite artists,
Rap-wise.
rap-wise, you gotta give it up to Big L, you gotta give it up to Tupac. And then you gotta come up with, you know, a little bit more to the West and Corrupt. Corrupt's the ill lyricist from the
Corrupt's
West.
mad slept on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people forget 40 Glock, Brother Lynch, CB40. But these are West Coast rappers.
Yeah,
None of y'all
yeah,
might not even heard about these.
Nah, we know. I was on YouTube watching the other day with 40 Glock, but he got beat up by the game.
Yeah.
he saw that wrestler.
I know. It was funny though. He got beat up by the game, but Lil Wayne came into the town and 40
And
Glock
then when
was there.
40 Glock come
banging.
on his games,
Yeah.
so you know it's crazy.
And then I mean like some of my folks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
repping the same thing, and so I definitely got to keep an ear to it. And when Exhibit first came out, it was just popping, you know. And so, but then I got to go to the South and the Trick. I love some Trick Daddy, you know, back in the day. Thugs R Us, he just put it out there, and then, you know, and it's like you can't help but talk about just Wayne, you know, and he's just blown up the scene. And the thing about it was that I've always been like, you know, Wayne's a great lyricist.
Yeah,
you know, he's a great rapper.
And
people are like, but he wears all this, he wears all this. Like, look, you look back in the day, Lil Wayne wasn't banging nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what's the hard thing with artists these days. They just start coming up, becoming an artist, and all of a sudden they start gangbanging. Like, where did this come from? You know?
Because, you know, if you follow Lil Wayne's journey, I mean, there was nothing about him before that was that.
No.
So,
yeah. But I mean, yeah, there's nothing about that. But lyrically, he was always been tight, you know?
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I love about the stuff that you've done, because you lived a particular lifestyle. You know, you've been involved in gang culture,
right.
But you're actually going out there and you're talking to the kids, you're talking to the youth, you're giving something back, which is a really strong and positive message. Where, you know, my whole thing is sometimes you go to these seminars or you go to these workshops and people are saying, don't do this or don't do that, but they've never experienced it themselves,
right.
They've never lived that kind of life, so they can't actually relate with the people that, I mean, yourself, a lot of people do relate to you, look up to you, respect you, you know, that's why you're continually successful in the things that you do.
Yeah, that's tough though, because I mean, I couldn't imagine somebody, you know, blue-collar guy, all tied up, and like, look, man, I've never been out in those streets, and nobody's ever offered me no drugs, and I never held no gun before, but I know you can do better. Like, what do you mean?
Well,
what do you mean?
People get that every day.
Yeah, and that's tough, man. So it's like, if my experience can help that, then sure, you know. Better than gold at sometimes, you know, if I'm saving a life.
So, you know, if we could get you to give a message to the young people and stuff watching out there, to the community.
Yeah. You know, some of it, it's probably the same. Stay in school, do sports, don't do drugs and all that. But the thing is that you need to believe in yourself, and you need to trust in yourself, and you need to stand up for what you believe in. And it's not that we all know right from wrong, but we need to find out what's right for us. And once you find that out, you'll stay true to it.
Most definitely. Before we end, I just want to pick your brain with a couple of questions.
Yeah.
People know me, word association, I'm goofy when it comes to stuff like that, so you ain't gonna escape. I've got 10 questions.
10 words associations?
Yeah.
Man, my mind can be gutter sometimes, you know.
The gutter, it is what it is.
All right.
This is about that TV, so, you know. So I'm just gonna fire them away. I want you to answer as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And then it's on to the next one. So, the first one is pepper.
Dad's jerk chicken.
Wow. Ace.
Spade.
Pink.
Pussy shit.
Big.
Me.
Oh, Lost.
Lost boys.
Youth.
Youngsters.
Faith.
God.
Green.
Money.
Silk.
Bed sheets.
Adam.
Genuine.
Yeah, that's
you know
what's up, man.
That stuff happened, but that's not who I am. I've lost who I am through this place. I've drowned my spirit, and I've ripped myself of ever being who I was supposed to be by doing these actions. I've kept these memories and these visions inside my head for bitterness and angry and for violence. But if I'd let go, I could build something on that. If I removed all this trash that I've carried around, then my spirit will be able to shine again. And those are the types of things that he was teaching me. And I had no idea what he was talking about, you know, like spirit, God, I don't get it, you know. But he was teaching me these things, and he was opening my eyes up, and he was getting me out of the delusional state of what I thought a black man should be in America or even in this world, you know. And I did it. I felt like that. I thought of these things that I was doing, I was supposed to be doing. And that could have been from TV, video games, people around me, the negative stuff, the police officers, whatever. I had this image of how I was supposed to be, and he rid me of that, you know. And